All right, everybody.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Please enter your. Thank you. Please announce yourself.
What's up, Stuart?
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown. Please announce yourself. Please enter your PIN followed by the pound or hash. If you do not, thank you. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Okay. So, straight up, y'all, I'm not the only one that's ever felt betrayal. A lot of y'all know my story, like how, some of the darkest moments in my life kind of started with a relationship that kind of went haywire. But I just want you to know it's possible to heal. Y'all got to watch me. My voice is kind of tripping. Yeah, Mama Shay. Like I'm just getting my voice back today. But at first I was gonna kind of put this off or let Earl or Pearl or somebody else cover it. I need to let you do some of these, Mama Shay. But we're gonna try to fight through it. I'm gonna make this quick one. Because I thought this was a cool topic for me to kind of get into today, with it being Valentine's Day and us only being human out here, right? If you ask anybody who's ever been betrayed, they'll tell you that knife in the back ain't just a metaphor, but it's an actual physical sensation. I remember when I was going through it, and I don't blame my ex-wife and whatnot because I we're all human, we're all on our own evolution. um and then it's like I've seen it happen multiple times in business. I watched my business partner get betrayed so many times back to back to back that I literally would pray to God above that his heart would stay supple. That was my actual prayer because I'd watched him do so much for so many and literally get backstabbed up. But betrayal is a real thing, y'all. Whether you're walking away empty-handed from a business deal, whether you're walking away from something that you thought was going to be, the love of your life the rest of your life, the experience can break something inside you. Can anybody relate to that? I remember walking around feeling like I had fish hooks hanging from my face. Like I never knew what they meant by depressed. You know what I mean? And it's like when they use that word heartbreak, it's like, yo, it could literally break something inside you. But check this out. That ain't necessarily a bad thing. That ain't necessarily a bad thing, y'all, especially when you realize that maybe what broke was your naivete. Maybe what broke was your belief that good, honest conversation and mutual compromise could overcome any conflict. Sometimes nothing can overcome any conflict. But the problem is, a lot of times what happens is we start being mistrustful of everybody, right? In the immediate months and even the years following my divorce, I was suspicious of everybody. I wondered if anybody could encourage me to open up to them because I felt like everybody was running some kind of game. I started to wonder if promises were just a joke to everybody but me. Like, am I just a fool? Right? Is everybody out to get me? These are dangerous questions, millionaires, because what these types of questions start to do is put all your relationships underneath this cloud of mistrust. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you, Dr. Monet in the house? Is this making sense? And as entrepreneurs, we can't afford that. This incessant, never ending suspicion is an uncomfortable mental place to be. And I don't mean uncomfortable in that place of personal growth and development. I mean uncomfortable, like literally your life can become hell, right? Yeah, you shared intimacies with certain people that didn't deserve the right to hear them. That's true. You know, you believe in reciprocity, that you are almost entitled to the same vibe you give off. And I get where you're coming from. But millionaires, this is life. And a lot of times, that blind ambition, that ability to uh, uh, kind of like get completely self absorbed that we all have, is exactly what can destroy any relationship. It took a lot of inner work for me, it took a lot of personal growth and self development. But I got 5 things for you to consider this morning that may help you get over betrayal if you've ever felt it before. And I bet you have. I bet you that maybe it wasn't always a business partner. Maybe it wasn't always a lover. Sometimes it's a family member. But I'm going to tell you something. Trust is the very essence of this life we live, especially as entrepreneurs. You got to know how to trust, because this earth should be a reflection of heaven. You get what I mean? Like every morning when we do the visualization exercises, you always hear me talking about uh, we don't want to start from the physical, let that infect our thought, and then take that to our spirit. We want to start from the spirit, let that become our thought, and then watch it show up in the physical. In other words, you want earth to be a reflection of heaven. I mean, wouldn't it be messed up if heaven was a reflection of earth? You want your physical reality to be a reflection of the love you got inside you. So I got 5 of them for you. If you're ready for the first one, somebody say, understand it's not about you, and give me a share. Understand that it's not about you, and give me a share. Let's get it. Understand that it's not about you. What do I mean by that? What I'm saying is betrayal a lot of times feels real personal, but it's important to remember that that person's actions have more to do with their inner landscape than with you. You get what I mean? Katie Couric famously said, the person that criticizes is often saying more about themselves than they are the thing they're criticizing. You hear me? They might be trying to prove something to themselves. They might be trying to prove something to other people. Maybe your energy reminds them of a previous relationship and they acting out of habit, insecurity, fear, protection. You hear me? It's not about you. None of this is your business. Y'all hear me? When somebody betrays your trust, understand they would do that to anyone in your shoes. That's who they are. No amount of wondering why they did it is going to help, right? You need to be healing. So if you can, let all that go. Here's the second one. Somebody say, understand it's all about you, and then give me a share. Understand that it's completely about you, and then give me a share. Y'all ready? Now I know you're like, didn't I just say it wasn't about you? But here's what I mean. It's also entirely about you. And this is what I mean. Betrayal of your trust, especially about somebody else that you really, really cared about, it reflects a betrayal of yourself by yourself. I don't want to get too deep, but check it out. Your body tried to warn you. You knew something wasn't right, but you dismissed the headaches or the insomnia or this weird feeling you would get around the person. So, where was the real betrayal? Where was the real betrayal? Now, this is not to transfer blame from the other person to yourself. This is us being more practical, right? All I'm saying is that I want you to become aware of how and where we wronged ourselves so we make sure we don't do it again. As long as you think the cause of your problems is somebody else, as long as you think the cause of your problems is out there, you're in suffering. The situation is completely hopeless. You got to learn to go within or learn to go without. Am I making sense? I think it's Socrates, right? Socrates was like, the secret of change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but on creating the new. Am I making sense to somebody out there? That's the secret here. Here's the third one I got for you: forgive or not. Forgive or not. I know y'all like, Haziq, this is helping and not helping. This whole thing is not helping and helping at the same time. Here's all I'm saying with this one. A lot of people tell you that forgiveness is an important part of healing, from the betrayal. And I agree. Of course, forgiveness is important. But a lot of times what we do is we forgive before we fully process the emotion. A lot of times we offer the forgiveness too soon so we can feel like we're above it all, right? We haven't even fully processed the pain. We haven't even fully processed the stimuli. For forgiveness to be freeing, it needs to be an act that's all about what it does for you, not the other person, not some bystander we're trying to impress. You get what I'm saying to you? Not even some well meaning advisor, be it your best friend or your therapist. No, you got to feel it. One time I was talking to my therapist about some situation with my mom, and she just started pointing out how she understands it. Like, I don't really want to label it. She was like, no, there's a word for that. Like, you're angry. She said, but it's not a popular thing for a Black man to be angry, and especially not angry at your mother. Right. And I was like, damn, I never thought of that. But how the heck am I going to be able to deal with the emotion if I don't identify the emotion? That's why I still got this what is it right there? No, that's right there. That feeling wheel up there in the corner. That feeling wheel. If anybody needs that, then just hit me up for it so I can send it to you. But that feeling wheel is powerful. It's invaluable because you got to be able to identify the emotion before you can manage it. You hear me? When forgiveness works best, it resets your boundaries, the same boundaries that got violated. It helps you reclaim space in your heart. You hear me? It helps you reclaim space in your mind that was transgressed. You hear what I'm saying to you? Here's the fourth one I got for you. Even though you forgave them, you got to cut ties. You got to cut ties. You hear me? To effectively heal from a betrayal, you can't keep on scraping the same wound. Imagine cutting yourself and then you keep on taking a rock and re-scraping it just as it starts to scab up. If you're really going to forgive, then you got to kind of put yourself in a protective bubble. Does this make sense? In this social media world, there's so many opportunities to re-wound yourself, right? You got to leave in-person friend groups, but you also got to maybe leave some of these social media stuff behind. Maybe you got to unfollow that person, unfollow the other people around them. You have to put your well-being ahead of all the normal crap. You hear me? And I know this can kind of feel like an extra punishment sometimes, but guess what? This is you being a big boy. This is you being a big girl. You're wrapping yourself in protection so that you won't suddenly see a picture come across your phone that reopens wounds that were just about to heal. Yeah, you're strong, but being around people who remind you of the offender will only slow down your strength, slow down your healing. Don't forget the energetic ties too, right? And cut the cords that were created between you. Maybe you're going to do some journaling so you can really let go of your romanticized version of the person and actually jot down how this person made you feel, in what ways, how you could have seen it coming, in what ways, what are the red flags they showed you, in what ways. Maybe you visualize these connections and you visualize taking scissors to them. You'll be amazed at how quickly this simple little exercise frees you up. I mean, you may want to write their name on something or write what they represented on something and then burn it in a little ceremony. You write it on paper and then burn it. You get what I mean? But you got to cut those ties. And then the last one I got for you. Yeah. The cutting's definitely painful, Willie. It's definitely painful. Shouts out to you for living in your truth, baby. Um, yeah, straight up, straight up. That's exactly right. So number five is you get to renegotiate your relationships. This is the step where you get to renegotiate, starting with the relationship you have with yourself. You hear what I'm saying to you? Can you make peace with your emotions? Can you make peace with your body in this situation? Will you commit to listening more closely to this still, non moving, small voice you got inside? You know what I mean? Because doesn't it always point out stuff you don't want to see? Can you make a commitment to actually listen to that voice? Listen, we can't always heal the damage that betrayal does in a relationship, but what we can do is develop a deeper reliance on our body's signs and signals, right? But we got to renegotiate this relationship with ourselves. We have to learn to trust ourselves. Because in the end equation, the only reason I don't trust you is because I don't trust myself. At the point I can trust myself to handle whatever could come, now I'm more trusting of everybody because it's me. I got to learn to go within or I got to learn to go without. And you know you're healing. Here's how you know you're healing. You know you're healing when you can look back on a person or look back on an event and not feel your heart race, not feel your palms sweat. You hear me? You're healing when that person doesn't take up so much space or time in your life or in your mind. You hear me? When you can let hours go by and days go by and they don't even cross your mind anymore. That's when you know you're healing. And after enough time goes by, right, of you with some intention going through this process, you can look back with compassion for yourself, right? And just hug on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all remember that? Millionaires. One day, you might even thank the person. Sounds crazy if you're going through it right now. This sounds, this sounds, oh yeah, Vita Lachey. I love that. Yeah, I was there for Narissa's part of that marry yourself thing. It's so true. Because millionaires, one day you might even thank the person for making you who you are today. I know it's going to sound crazy to you if you're still in the middle of that pain, if you're still fresh off the betrayal. But 10 years ago, I would have agreed that thanking my ex-wife was bonkers. But here I am, and I have nothing in my heart but love for this lady. Our relationship is so much better. It's so much doper because of the personal responsibility that I've taken, the personal improvement that I've made, and the fact that at the end of the day, and this ain't going to sound all, well, all I can do is be me, right? I ain't perfect. And I'm just saying that what else helps is you building yourself into a success. Because at the end equation, what you want to do is make that betrayal the worst mistake they ever made. Nobody wants to experience a betrayal, but there is something to be said for using the fools as fuel. You hear me? Can somebody give me that in the comments? Use the fools as fuel. Hope that was helpful, y'all. I'm about to go get back in bed. Love y'all. Hey, Earl. Hey, Earl, can you help us with the affirmations this morning, bro? Is Earl in the house? Somebody holler at Earl for me.